Hey Giants fans, happy Friday. Welcome back to Giants Latest. Let's go ahead and here is the final preview for the Giants versus Chargers game on Sunday, 1 p.m. at MetLife. Let's get into it. But, we have to start with the injury updates because there are a few. So, for today, we had 4 players who were on the did not practice list. Graham Gano and Tyrone Tracy. Again, why neither of them have been moved to IR, I don't know. But I guess maybe that's a good thing because maybe they're not going to be out for 4 weeks. Let's keep our fingers crossed. Next up is Chauncey Golston, who's dealing with an ankle injury. So it's not looking good for him on Sunday. I think that they're probably going to elevate Tomon Fox, who is on the practice squad again. And he might be replacing Chauncey Golston on Sunday. Next up, we have Nacho. I was really hoping that Nacho was going to be back this week, but for the second straight day, for the second straight week, he did not practice, so not looking good for him. Next up, the limited list, we have Bo Collins, Demetrius Flanagan, Foles, Art Green, Theo Johnson, Malik Neighbors, JMS, Darius Slayton, and Andrew Thomas. So the good news about this grouping is that everyone was practicing today. So one person that did not practice on Wednesday but practiced on Thursday was Theo Johnson. So that's a good sign he's trending in the right direction for Sunday. Next up is Malik Neighbors, same thing. Did not practice on Wednesday, practiced on Thursday, so that is good news. He said he's going to be fine. I'm sure they're just limiting him as a safety precaution. The last person on this list is Bo Collins, who was added to the injury list on Thursday with a hamstring injury. He was not on the list on Wednesday, so hopefully it's not anything that's holding him back, but if he is limited or questionable, I wonder if we will see any Jalen Hyatt. Don't get your hopes up, but you never know. Lastly, we have one full participant who was Darius Muasau, which is great news. He is healed from the concussion and should be ready to go for Sunday's game, which is great because obviously we were down to our 4th and 5th string linebackers, which is a bit of a problem. So I'm glad that we're going to have Darius Muasau and Bobby O back. We are, almost there, getting back to our starters, but no update on when Micah McFadden is going to be back. So Darius Muasau is the linebacker of the future with Bobby O. Speaking of Bobby O, we're going to get into players to discuss. We're going to focus on the offensive side of the ball, but spoiler alert, Bobby O is on the defensive side. Let's talk about some offensive players. I know everyone is excited about Jackson Dart, so I'm not going to go into depth here. I know we're all looking forward to it. I really just want to see him play a smart game of football. That means sliding. That means if you feel like that window is closing too tight, do not make that throw. Get out of bounds and don't be afraid to throw the ball away and just make overall smart decisions. If he throws an interception, if he makes mistakes, no one is going to freak out, okay? He's a rookie quarterback. So let's give him the time he needs to grow and learn and adjust to football at the NFL level. But I ultimately think that he might play a little bit better than some of us are expecting on Sunday. At least I hope. Like I said, I just want him to make smart decisions. Avoid injuries while you can. So keep our fingers crossed for that. Next up, I want to talk about Scat. I know we're all super excited about him, but I really want to talk about the running back position as a whole because with Tyrone Tracy out, what they didn't do is bring in any running backs for a workout. So I think they're going to elevate Turbo Miller, which I'm really excited about. So keep your eyes peeled on number 25. He ran, I think it was a 4.2740. The guy is very fast, great in a screen game. And throughout the summer and preseason, we saw him and Jackson Dart together working a lot on the screen games during the preseason game. So I think that's something that they need to incorporate into the game plan this weekend. And I would like to see it. And I would really like to see the ball go to Turbo on those specific plays. Turbo also can be used on special teams, so he has that versatility. So I think it's looking good that he's going to be elevated, and we're going to see him on Sunday. The last offensive player that I want to talk about is Daniel Bellinger because he has done a really great job over the last few years. He's had some freakish injuries, but he's a really good pass catcher, and he's a better pass catcher than Theo Johnson. And if Theo Johnson is dealing with this foot injury, give us more Daniel Bellinger. That's who I want to see from the Giants, who's going to be a pass catcher used in the passing game. The thing that we know about Jackson Dart is he's going to use the middle of the field. And I want to be a damn football team like the Cowboys, like the Eagles, like the Commanders, like literally the Niners, Kansas City. Every other NFL team utilizes their tight end as a pass catcher in the middle of the field. We saw it with Jake Ferguson already. We've seen it with Zach Ertz, Dallas Goedert, George Kittle, Travis Kelce, Gronk, like the list goes on. The Giants need to be one of those teams. And with Jackson Dart and Daniel Bellinger, they can be that. I want to see it on Sunday. I think overall we are going to see a little bit of a more exciting offense on Sunday. So as a whole, I'm just looking forward to seeing how this unit comes together. And of course, Marcus Bowe has been progressing really well, and I hope that he continues with that on Sunday, but I'm very happy that we're going to see more Andrew Thomas. So with that being said, let's switch over to the defensive players. We'll go with our spoiler alert first. It's Bobby O. And the reason I'm calling out Bobby O here is that he leads the NFL in tackles. That's right. He is the top tackler in the NFL with 34 in 3 games. So I know we've had our issues with Bobby O. He struggled in this defense more so than he did with Winks, but he's leading the NFL in tackles. He is overall one of the better tacklers on this team, and I think we've seen that so far this year as we've watched some other guys have some issues. And he's a great leader and a smart football player. So I want to see him continue that this week, see if we can walk out of week 4 with him still being the leading tackler in the NFL. Another defensive player is Dexter Lawrence. I just feel like we're really getting to the point where he's starting to feel and seem like himself again on the football field. He was dealing with that injury, did not have a lot of playing time this whole summer, and I think he's finally there. So I think we are definitely going to see part, if not all, of the Dexter Lawrence that we all know and love. And the last player I want to talk about in defense is Cordell Flott, because I think he's done a great job so far. But in the last game, we saw a lot more of Tay Banks, and I really want to see if Cordell Flott can force his way into getting more reps this week, whether it's in man or zone coverage. He's been okay in both of them. I think he's been a little bit better in man, like Tay Banks has been, but he's made some really important plays. They come on third down, they come in the red zone, and I just really want to see him continue on that. He's in a contract year, so not only is it important for the Giants for him to do well to help us win football games, but it's also important for him to play well enough to get that next contract to stay in the NFL. So I'm excited to see these guys go out there. I do think we have a lot of talent on both sides of the ball. I think the coaching needs to figure out how to utilize it, and I hope that they can do it on Sunday. With all of that being said, I do still think there's a lot of talent. I just ultimately think that the coaching and the schemes are part of the things that are holding this team back. And I just think that when they're going against a team like the Chargers, who is very effective on offense, especially when it comes to the red zone. They have an incredible defense who's top 10 in every statistic and number 1 in red zone defense, where we are number 31 in red zone offense. I just think it's going to make it really, really hard for this Giants team to win the game. So ultimately, I think the Chargers win. I think it's a little bit more of a battle than any of us expect it to be. I think Jackson Dart going out there is going to reinvigorate this offense a little bit, knowing that he's going to make some throws that Russell Wilson was not making. And I need the offensive line to do their job to also help Jackson get to that point where he has time to throw. But with that being said, I just don't think that we are going to see a win on Sunday. I would love it more than anything, but until I see this football team be productive, stop shooting themselves in the foot, be able to score in the red zone, and make moves and make plays, I just don't have the belief that they can go out there on Sunday and beat the Chargers. And like I said, I hope I'm wrong. Nothing would make me happier than coming on here on Monday morning and talking about all positives because the Giants went out there and upset the 3-0 Chargers. That would make me happy beyond belief. And I hope that the next time we talk, that's exactly what we're talking about. So enjoy your weekend. Subscribe so you can be the first one to see on Monday which way this video is going, whether it's positive or negative. And either way, we will recap the game and, of course, Jackson Dart's performance. So go Giants. Let's go out there and get that win on Sunday.